What's up guys, I have returned and with a searing pain in the upper back. Note to self, when crowd surfing at a social distortion concert, always keep in mind that there are going to be a couple of old geezers who will not help you surf the crowd and would rather drop you. But I digress, on to the review. So Ghost in the Shell is based off of a 1995 original anime of the same name, which is also based off a manga. Believe it or not, I found that out an hour or so before entering the theater. I mean, I'm no anime expert like Chris Stuckman, but it was embarrassing to not know this one. So while I sat down in my seat slightly embarrassed by my ignorance, I was also mildly relieved that this would entail judging the movie in a more objective manner. Exiting the theater disappointed by this film's shockingly bland characters and woeful deficiency in exploration of its thought-provoking themes, I did some research. Apparently the anime broke some new ground philosophically with its discussion regarding the boundaries of our comprehension of what makes us sentient beings, as well as the ways in which human individualism intertwines with artificial intelligence. Turns out the anime has been a source of influence for a handful of sci-fi classics, including The Matrix, so I can imagine my disappointment paling heavily in comparison to fans of the anime. So in a dystopian future, the chasm between humankind and artificial intelligence is getting bridged as the vast majority of humans have augmented their bodies with cyborg additions. Major, played by Scarlett Johansson, is a creation of the Hanka Robotics Corporation. She is the first cyborg of her kind, as she is a synthetic robot with the only human part of her being a brain. Designed as a killing machine with the ability to think, she works for a government intelligence agency called Section 9 in combating terrorism. Hanka Robotics' leaders are being murdered by their very own robots, so Major's boss, Aramaki, played by Takeshi Kitano, calls on her to investigate. Major's investigation leads her to a terrorist hacker named Hideo Kudze, played by Michael Pitt, and it's also at this point where Major learns some pretty shocking things about her past. Look, from a visual standpoint, Ghost in the Shell is unquestionably stunning. Inspired by Ridley Scott's Blade Runner, the unnamed futuristic Asian metropolis is laden with vivid, eye-catching imagery. From beautiful overhead shots of the city to colorful neon and three-dimensional holographic advertisements adorning the skyscrapers, there is no shortage of savory eye candy to behold. Also, the world that's been established before us is really fascinating and provides the audience with a sense of style. Moreover, the action is shot well and is a treat to witness, but unfortunately for a short amount of time. The biggest issue I had with Ghost in the Shell was its storyline. It delivered absolutely no impact whatsoever. For a film based off of an original that inspired modern sci-fi classics with its profound philosophizing, I actually didn't see any of that here. The themes of Ghost in the Shell are familiar and present in numerous other sci-fi flicks, so when nothing is done with them, the entire cinematic product is rendered unoriginal, bland, and boring. What really bothered me is how watered down everything felt. Anything that was remotely thought-provoking was short-lived and got lost among the visual spectacle. I have no idea what alterations were made to the original because I haven't seen it, but I'm 100% certain that they're the main offender here because there is nothing in this story that's groundbreaking. This failure is on account of two possible reasons. The first reason could be that the screenwriters failed miserably in a genuine attempt to stay true to the original's essence while trying to be innovative with their own version of events. The second reason could be that the screenwriters underestimated the intelligence of the audience and opted for oversimplification out of fear that moviegoers will be bored and confused by what they're seeing. With how things played out in this film, I'm leaning more towards number two. There was some controversy around casting a Caucasian actress to play the role of an Asian, but I didn't find it too big a deal. Now, The Last Airbender is a different story. Scarlett Johansson performed rather well in the physical department, which comes off as no surprise seeing as how she plays Black Widow. And her portrayal of a cyborg was competent enough, but thanks to the material she was given with, I wasn't really buying it during the more emotionally charged moments. Ferdinando and Michael Pitt did alright, but their villainous characters were just tragically mundane. For me, pretty much every character who wasn't the Major felt disposable by comparison. Ghost in the Shell is a colossally disappointing misfire. In my humble opinion, fans of the anime will see this film as a watered-down shell of its former self, and viewers unfamiliar with the source material will see an incoherent, bland, run-of-the-mill sci-fi flick that's trying to sound more intelligent than it actually is. Sure, the film is visually stunning and the performances are serviceable, but it doesn't really have much else going for it. If you want to see a marvelous film about ethics, the blur between human sentience and artificial intelligence, and the things that make us human, I suggest you pop in Alex Garland's Ex Machina immediately. What I saw with Ghost in the Shell, and excuse the cheese, is a shell with no ghost. So I'm gonna give this film a 4. I truly wanted to love the film, but the truth of the matter is, it's just not good. So these are my thoughts on Ghost in the Shell. What did you think of the film? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you like what I do, give me a like, hit that big subscribe button, stay tuned, and I will see you on the next one.